most of us, it's different. We live a life, and if someone drops like a lot of coins and stuff, then we go like, oh, money. If someone says there is gold found in this and that river, everybody goes there, wants to have it. But the time that you spend during your life, you should actually fill with stuff that doesn't have been doctored on. It should be your choice. It should be like, actually when you follow your guts, you would love to do something you love to do. And most of the time, this is something that comes easily to you. Because you get into a flow more easily when you do something that you love doing and that you're capable of doing, even while learning to do it, like painting or drawing. If you're constantly fascinated by what you just have drawn, because you love drawing, that's the effect that sets in when you draw or paint, then it's just easy to do it. You just want to do it endlessly. Like when I start painting on fabrics, I just cannot stop. I do like a design a day. I just finish it. I don't go, I prepare very well. I prepare the measurements, the colors, the brushes, everything. Then I look for the right kind of light, and then I start doing what I'm liking most. Painting. Yeah. So, oops, I gotta get rid of the clothes I'm wearing. I'm too hot. That's a real difficulty up here, wearing the right amount of kind of clothes. It's such a pity, I always gotta watch the floor. Once I don't live up here anymore, I would wish I had the camera like this more often, because the floor I see myself, but all the nice whereabouts that I'm walking within, I'm not seen at all times. Even when walking uphill, I need to check the floor. I cannot just wander astray with my eyes. So yeah, I need to get rid of the jacket I'm wearing and maybe the sweater too. Let's see. Zap, 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 zap. There I go. Hoops, 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 hoops. And then I'll do a video about the agendas I know of. I should actually make a list before I do such, like one. You don't believe how hot it is. I kind of look cool, right? All black. I'm a modern witch, so wearing black feels like, yeah. So the agendas would be: the family unit has to be destroyed. Everybody needs to go to school to be indoctrinated for years and to get into groupthink. What the group wants is okay. Usually men and women are different there. Men would easily follow the group if it's a strong one. They don't even need to be convinced, but women aren't like that. So groupthink is when a leader says, which is your teacher, we do this and that, you go, okay. You don't question what politicians say later on. So then all in your religion, because that's your religion, right? Jesus or whatever. And then in life, when some UN leader says, now this and that, or if somebody outstanding is in the media and they call that one a leader, then you go, yeah, that one must be right. Whatever he says, you just tend to believe it more easily. Then they want everybody to believe in pharmacy rather than in the healing power of the body itself. Your body, your brains and your gut system can heal you by fasting. So the Bible, the Essene Bible from the early stages, was telling the people how to keep sane and healthy. So like brain and guts. By fasting, by doing alkaline baths, and by eating like dried fruit and, rather than meat. So the Romans, they wanted to kill this knowledge, so they took over the Bible and they rewrote it following the outlines of the Essene Bible, the Bible that was before our Bible that we have now. But they all put it into negative words because, as I said, they want us to be in a low energy state, like getting sick easily, so they can be sure we don't want to change something in politics. And also we're gonna ask for their pharmacy. So pharmacy is all stuff that's not in the nature. That's why they had to either kill off all the witches or just say we killed off all the witches, because the witches, they knew about herbs and remedies and stuff, so they could heal your stuff also mentally. Somebody in distress would go to a witch and say, she's lying to me all the time, I want to leave her. So the witch would say, okay, here you have a remedy, she won't lie to you anymore. And then you could stay with your spouse. So she was healing the mental illness that these people had. Talking to someone helps a lot. We see that in homeopathics, 2 hours. Real homeopaths talk to the patient. And when you can get rid of all your sorrows and somebody's actually listening to you, 50% of the way to get healthy is already done. If you don't believe me, you don't have to. Why can it be that easy? All the world is suffering AIDS and cancer, and she says it's about listening. Yeah? If you got cancer and you treat yourself with poisons in chemotherapy, then of course you're gonna die. But like if you take high dosages of vitamin C and also lysine that prevents that one from spreading, and then detox, just get alkaline, then your cancer is gone someday. But if you continue feeding bad bacteria in your guts and by that one keeping your body away from minerals, then the body can't intake minerals into its system and it cannot be healing itself, because to detox you need to have those minerals. So for example, that one is a problem. And you see people in Africa aren't as ill as we are. We have this so-called industrialism illnesses. We get heart failure, seizures and stuff. So like Pokemon, the comic on TV is known in studies for causing seizures. Just the way that it is designed and the sounds. You take in these via your eyes and your ears and you get seizures. It's not funny, but in a way it is, because you just shouldn't divulge into bullshit, right? And television just is bullshit. So okay, the elite wants us to be sickly, then sell us their products, and of course also specialists. They want to have specialists, because if a human actually is skilled in a lot of areas, then that individual being will see through a lot of lies, because when you know a lot about different fields in life, that one gets easier to do. When you're a specialist and you just know about gardening, you don't know anything about anything else. If someone comes up to you and tells you, well, gardeners actually are a bit clever because they see the nature working and they've got a calm mind, you know. Well, the specialists, you know, when you go to university, you're not allowed to write a doctor study to get majors on a broad topic. It's always one specific question you're answering in your paper. So that's what I mean. They want to have specialists. And also a specialist, like in some fields, like let's say nuclear something. How can I be a specialist there? Well, if I see somebody's lying at me, then I can say maybe that technology isn't that bad as they sell. There is a video out by Galen Windsor, the nuclear scare scam. So he was a chef at General something in the USA, and he was bathing in the cooling water of those reactors, and he was drinking it, and he said just 4 incidents blowing up with uranium have happened worldwide, and it was because they had these sugar dices, big something uranium or whatever it was, and they just let it fall. When you have that force of them little things falling, boosh. So all the Hiroshima things they did with TNT, and there is even videos out that you can't believe about these tests. The tests, they don't look, some physics say, like the explosion you would, even Fukushima. Ed Kirini has a video up telling you that it wasn't that nuclear stuff causing that fire. It was another kind of explosion, and it's like inward outward and explosions, he explains in his video. Ed Kirini, Fukushima, when you Google that. So they want specialists on the news, so when something happens, and even that specialist, when he lies to us, when we don't know anything about stuff, we tend to believe what the government wants us to believe. So they tell us, you know, there has been happening this and that, and now all the air is poisoned, please don't eat veggies right now, wash them, or like kill off all the, you know, there is a virus, kill off all the chickens. How could you know if you're not a specialist? So people tend to do what people with special knowledge tell them, because it's the same. You go to school, you've got your teacher. If he tells you the world is like this and that, of course you believe, right? We have to learn to not believe everything, not be as optimistic as I am about stuff all the time, because people lie to us, and so being optimistic would make me believe what they say. And for example, when I was in my eastern town in Switzerland, somebody told me mushrooms can be found, and he told me where. I went there were no mushrooms. He just wanted to get rid of me. I was so blue-eyed, I didn't even think of that. But years later, it came to my mind, oh yeah, he was just testing how gullible I am. So yeah,